It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
Fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
Thank you guys for coming out to the Bucked Up Live podcast. Wow. Look at this. We're in a church. Same amount of people go to church as are here right now. It's about... We're going to get... No, this is cool. This is the last week was the 1 year anniversary of Bucked Up. Thank you. Thank you guys. I fucking... Oh shit, you got it figured out. We got to hire you on the team. You got to stop rapping. You're going to be a technician, a music technician now. I started this because comedy was over. We talked about this on both our podcasts. You were both early guests on this podcast, which was like, I listened to you both heavily. Like if I went in my Apple replay, your song's the top listened to song of last year. And you're I think, if not one, then the second most listened to artist I have.
What's up, man? Thank you.
And you guys took chances on me. And it was like, I had nothing to do over this past year. I lost comedy. I was in a dark place. And now we're here. Now we're at the tiny cupboard, and you guys are sitting here with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me,
Thank
bro.
you for having us.
Real.
That's a fact.
Yeah, UFO. We got Mont. You guys did shit over quarantine more than most artists. Like, not a lot of artists did shit over this past year. So that's why I wanted to invite you guys and have you guys come on and talk because, shit, it's inspirational. It's inspirational. You had a crazy week this week. I want to shout you out. You had a video of you doing a tour of your housing project. That was... I didn't even like... I mean, of course I knew it was you when I watched it, but like, that got a lot of views quick.
Yeah,
You know
shout
what's
out to
funny?
Lil Vlogs.
Yeah, pardon, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, good.
What's funny is this shit just popped up on my YouTube, bro. And for some reason I clicked because it was in Harlem. I'm like, yo, let me watch this. It's like it's mad funny. And I watched it, I was rolling. Then when I go to your gram, I'm like, oh, this is a homie from the joint.
Yeah, that's what's up,
Crazy.
man.
And I saw you was in the studio with Primo. That must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
Crazy,
crazy,
man.
Shout out to everything. Shout out to all the platforms that allow me. You just got to keep going, man. It's a testament to keep focused and keep doing what you're doing. And I've reached all those people I was with that, I just reached out to them. You know what I'm saying? It was Hood Vlogs. I was a fan of it already. I was watching it, learning about the West Coast and all the other neighborhoods. And I was like, yo, you ever want to come through the hood, you good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's in the East Coast and he hit me up. So it was more of a pleasure to represent my hood. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as being in the studio with Primo, that's just when I'm with Joe Crack, it's like, I'm with Joe Crack, but then I get to be Fev at the same time because Preem and everybody knows me for doing my thing already. So, like, it's kind of ups my respect, you know what I'm saying? It kind of ups the level of my hard work. It shows that I could still be doing this, but be here with the big steppers and be in the room and everybody's familiar with what I do, giving my input and recording and doing what I got to do and still, like, not be timid or be scared to stay focused on what I'm doing here. You know what I'm saying? Most people will lose sight because they working with other people or they want to be in a higher loop, but we still got a plan and we trying to execute what we got to do.
Had you ever worked with Primo before that?
Nah.
That must, I
never really got to, every time I see Primo, I've seen Primo being around Static and stuff, and I met him one time, we got a friend, shout out to the NYGs and Pange, he be in the street, so he knew who I was and stuff. And I got a homeboy who I just helped him get himself up as a chef and stuff. So he, in my neighborhood,
is that
Lil Barbecue?
I follow him. His shit looks good. I want some of that.
He makes an octopus salad.
That shit looks delicious.
That's next level. So Pange came and was buying food from him. And Lil Barbecue was like, yo, I sell food to Premier's Man. So I'm like, who's Premier's Man? So from there, we made the connection to Premier. We brought him some food. And ever since then, every time we see each other, he's been solid. He kept it 100. He ain't act like, most of these guys that see you act like they don't know you. Like, every time I seen Preem, it's all love.
It's all independent shit. It's all like...
Yep.
You're all independent too. You just put out an album.
Yes, sir.
The green, a mixtape, the Green Tape.
The Green Tape. Yeah.
That's like
what's up.
independent is the like
The way to go.
the way to go. You have a song about that on the Thrill with
Yeah.
Frank the Butcher about
Shout out
that
to Frank
shit.
the Butcher, yep.
Yeah, but you just you just wanted to put it out yourself. Like you just wanted to. You didn't want to wait for any of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I got distribution. That's about it. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I don't. That's my thing, bro. I don't like waiting on nobody. Like I like to do everything on my time. You feel me? So it's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, it's the best way.
Yep.
Had you ever gotten like anywhere in the industry and then they like fucked you over? Like, is there a reason you wanted to stay that, or is that just from like learning through history?
A little bit of both. I've been in a bad deal before. Like I don't know if you have, but that shit is.
No, it's a fact. I've been in
Yeah.
plenty of bad deals.
Yeah, to
that's
see,
a fact.
damn, that's scary. When he say you've been in plenty, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
Run
probably
through
not
them,
done.
yeah,
You know what I'm
run through
saying?
them.
But I'm actually educating myself on the business as we speak, because like I can't, you know, I like this is like what's all of fame if you uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You can't live how you want. You can't put out music how you want when you want. It's just like.
And when I
prison.
say a bad
Yeah.
deal, I don't mean the deal where it's necessarily like because it all depends on your knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's probably, I don't want to like down anybody from the past or nothing, but like it's just not having knowledge. It could frustrate you because the contracts might have some in it that you don't know about. You know what I'm saying? And that turns it into a bad deal for you because you're not able to move as you would like to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When did you realize that you were going to be independent? Like you said, you had.
I've always been independent. And when I sign deals, even when I sign deals, it's like, yo, man, it's like I work too hard to be worried about anything. I keep it pushing and eventually it gets worked out. So I ain't never really like, even when I put out music under labels and stuff, most of the time I end up getting the rights to the music and owning it.
Yeah,
because
that's
people
fire.
don't want no problem. Like at the end of the day, like not in the sense of like people don't want no problems, but like I'm not bothering nobody. When you a big earner and everybody in your pocket, then it's a lot harder. But at this level, when you just working consistently, people will let you get away with a lot more than they would for somebody who's actually bringing in a lot of income for people. You know what I'm saying? Then they want in. But when you focused and you doing things, then people will be like, oh, yeah, you got, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. They know the money is going to make you, is probably going to make you better money than it is, you know? But
Yeah.
you also have to have a good reputation and be solid for people to trust you like that. You know what I'm saying? To even ask for, yo, I ain't bothering you, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, you could take it.
Yeah. Well, you guys are like free thinkers too. Like your music isn't. I feel like when I see artists get a lot of major label like push like that, where it's fake push, it's people who are like easily manipulated. People whose like sounds will change with what they want them to. It's not someone who's like sticking to their own thing. Like both of you are about like learning and self-help. Like, you know what I mean? Like being able to teach.
Self-progression.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, you just talking about people who have no destination and no vision for themselves. You know what I mean? Because if you got that, it's hard to steer. You know, when I went through my bad deal situation, I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew I had an opportunity. I was like, all right, I'll take it. Pardon. So, when that happens, you don't know where you want to go. You're not locked on no type of target. It's easy to manipulate you and put you in a bad situation and take advantage of you, or just necessarily give you a deal where you're not getting everything you're worth. You know. So.
That's a fact.
Where do you said you're teaching yourself, like learning about it? Like, how are you learning, or where did you learn this knowledge? Like, is there a way for artists to find that shit out, you know?
Well, yeah, for me, I watch a lot of like YouTube. Like I said, his video went, yo, she was hilarious, man. For real, for real. Like, kind of remind me of, you from Harlem?
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
so,
east side.
yeah, it kind of remind me of some like the way Yams might have did it or something. It's crazy. But I'm like YouTube University for everything, like dietitian, diet, health, fitness, all that, music. But so I watch a lot of like United Masters does these like select con things where they talk about it. But I'm also reading All You Need to Know About the Business of Music by Donald S. Passman.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you know about it, right? Yeah. So it's just a book where it's pretty much like a the God to the music, and just like they call it the music industry's Bible, you know, and it just tells you an overall view of the ins and outs of the business.
But that's something that we connect, all of us connect, like I interviewed, like the books and the knowledge.
Yeah, I would say go to the library, man, and try to because they have a section for different businesses. So you grab yourself an LLC book, grab yourself a music industry book, grab yourself a law book, because you're going to need a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to know all your, you're going to, if you stay focused and dedicated, you're going to learn a lot more hands-on. But on your spare time, if you're trying to figure things out, looking with foresight, all right, look, I want this situation. If I so happen to get this situation, what's going to be involved in it? You know what I'm saying? What it comes with. So you got to know, all right, he referred to having distribution. What comes with having distribution? What do you want with your splits? What do you own? Are you going to give up back catalog? Or are you going to give up anything else? Do you know that you're not getting any budget? You're just going to be doing everything with it. So you have to understand all this, and some of it people learn hands-on. But then there's a whole nother level to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So being around Joe, I learned that. There's stuff that an artist that's on a quote-unquote underground, they don't even want no parts of what's going on on this side. They'll tell you the devil's over there and everybody's selling their songs.
I do have friends who are heavy into the full-on Illuminati devil worship shit.
You know, I'm from the projects, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen some wicked shit. You don't got to tell me the music industry got some wicked shit.
Yeah, it's like
come through my block 2 in the morning. There's rapists outside. There's killers. There's thieves. There's real people outside you got to deal with. I grew up with these kind of people.
Yeah.
So you don't got to throw me in the music industry to tell me there's some wild shit going on. That's automatic.
Yeah.
We don't live in a perfect world. Now, if you choose to sleep with another man to get to where you got to go, that's not the devil, or that's you. You got free will to do everything you please to do, bro. Nobody's gonna sell you if you believe in a God or a higher power and you gonna stay focused, whether you get in the music industry or not, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
But if you decide to do certain things, bro, it is what it is. And that's everywhere. You could work in Rite Aid and sleep with your manager and get a new job. And nobody's saying that's the Illuminati or that's the devil.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You could work at Blockbuster, anywhere, bro, and do things that you would ordinarily do.
Yeah.
You go to a Christmas party at your job, you've been working at Geico for the whole year, the Christmas party come, you see all the weird shit come out. Everybody drinking, this dude, you know what I'm saying? You damn, I work with some freaks.
Yeah.
I think the stigma of the whole devil worshiping and the selling your soul, I think it comes from the uninformed and the bitter. Tell you the truth.
Well, music is, they say the devil was God's favorite angel and he came down, created music. That's in the testaments, that's in all that stuff. But in the music is a message. How you choose to carry the message is going to be proven in your fight. Yeah. Some people, like you said, get in the music industry, make music that pertains to doing stuff that's negative, and they succeed. Why they succeed, I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing stuff that carries a different message, you're going to have different journeys. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's going to be different.
Yeah. Well, you guys, in both your albums, but especially yours is very, self-God driven, the higher self. And that's, over this past year, I've been connecting to my higher self and trying to push. But I feel like I've, I've burnt myself out a little bit. I feel like I've kind of lost my path a little bit of that connection. And I don't know if it's burnout, I don't know what it is, but it's shit, I'm trying to find that again, and that's a hard thing to find.
Well, I tell you, just from my perspective, I could say that that's a good thing, because from there, if you won't know you lost until you won't know where you're going, right? So it's is a part of life, everybody's life, where you just floating, right? You just coasting, you just doing whatever, and then you get lost and you realize, oh shit, I really need to figure something out. And then that's when you get in tune with yourself. And I'm doing that as we speak. I'm still working on getting in tune with myself, but I notice the more and more that I do, everything becomes easier. So music, relationships with people, any and everything literally becomes so much more easy once you do that. So I would just say be easy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, and you good.
That's a beautiful word. Don't be hard on yourself. I mean, I went through depression in most of my 20s, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I hit literally 30 where I don't know what it is that just like the weight sheds off you know what I'm saying? But for all my 20s, I was depressed, man. I didn't know what to do. I thought you was supposed to be rich at a certain age, and then you know, in the streets, you get rich young, you know what I'm saying? You be 23 with 100,000. So it'd be like, by the time you hit 26, if you still outside, it's like, damn, what we doing? It becomes like, you know, it becomes like drug dealers really be aggravated, bro. Like, they don't pick up the phone like, hey, how you doing, man? What do you want, eh? Great, I'll be right there. Like, niggas be like, yo, yeah, I'll be right there. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Back to playing a video game, not even paying attention, like whether he sells, whatever he does, it's just an aggravating thing. So if you choose to keep doing that, you only gonna end up in one or two places, you know what I'm saying? So by the time I realized, like, yo, we just running a rat race, I was depressed. I was super depressed because I didn't know what to do with myself. When I felt like, oh, by 27, what job I'm gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna want somebody who ain't worked since he was 19? You know, I'm thinking all them things, like, what I'm gonna put on my resume?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking up fake resumes, going on job interviews. I'm coming back to the block. Everybody like, yo, bro, you never gonna get a job. Like, you know, they make you believe that. You know what I'm saying? So eventually you get a job and you start working and you save up money and you start figuring out like, yo, I want this, I want that. I want to do better for myself. So for me, it was like I had a little job, and then I was like, yo, I started hanging out with people that were doing music. And when I seen the people that were doing music succeed, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going for that. So I started changing my surroundings, you know what I'm saying? And it started helping me out, getting me out the slump of being like stressed and depressed, because life started having like a purpose, a meaning, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I found what I like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
When it is such a shitty realization to come to, it's like the people around you do affect who you are. Like if you're with people who aren't driving themselves or pushing themselves, or like you're just gonna be like, you know, you're just playing video games in the crib and you're like,
yeah, because the truth is that even the people that ride with you, they don't really see your vision. When you cooking up these ideas and you thinking of making your podcast, it's like you could tell your friends and stuff, but like only you really like seeing that. So they've been times where like even the homies that I thought was like gonna ride with me and be like, yo, but that's your grind. That ain't like, you know, when it comes down, you have an argument and they tell you how they really feel, but like, yo, bro, you the one that do that shit.
Yeah.
So you be like, oh yeah, you right.
And do people see, like, people probably see you and think like, oh, you're good, you got it, like, you don't have to like still grind.
Yeah,
like,
everything is a grind, man.
But you see, like, especially like I follow your Instagram, the amount of work you put into like shipping your workout, like being a dad, like you show all of that shit. Like you put your work into all that shit.
Yeah, man, because life is not a joke, and I don't got nothing to front. You know, I don't have to improve nothing. I'm already like past that stage of like feeling like. So I'd rather show people what I'm really going through. So like when you hear my music and you hear the stuff I'm saying, it's not like I'm lying to you. You know, you're not gonna hear something where it's like far-fetched. Yeah. So I try to stay in my lane and do what I can. When I elevate and I start doing bigger things, then I'll start talking about that. But when I'm grinding and I'm focused and I'm telling you I have to show I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. And you're more on the come up, like and people probably see you like you release the project and you're like, oh, he's good, like he doesn't have to worry about like not where that money's gonna come from or like the funding behind the project or like people don't think people think about that shit.
Yeah, that should be on my mind all the time. But you know, you make it look good, you know. And do you, like you was just saying, you do you and you just try to make it look as good as you can, and just like you said, be authentic, just be real to whatever your situation is, who you are, and you know, people can always tell if you're not.
I can't tell nobody don't go buy that Rollie. The Rollie's nice, man. So if you're gonna go buy the Rollie, you're gonna enjoy yourself, buy the Rollie. Yeah. But you also gotta understand what comes along with buying that responsibility. Yeah. It's not my job to tell you that. You learn that once you buy the Rollie. You wear that out, they try to take it. Now you understand, like, oh, I understand, you know?
Yeah.
or you wear it out, you get a girl just because you got it on, you start learning the responsibilities of having that material thing. You know what I'm
The
saying?
first stain you get on like a nice, I buy like an expensive
And
ass
ash
jacket.
on
You
your
get,
Versace
you get
shirt.
the first
ash, you're like, damn, I
stain on.
can't smoke when I'm wearing this fly shit no more. Like,
And like you hear the people who win the lottery, and they're like they go broke immediately. They
Did y'all
spend
hear
all
about
that
this?
shit.
Yo, you heard about homie from I think it was Detroit. He won 30 racks
They took
on the
his
lottery.
chain, right?
He bought a $20,000 chain, and nigga got robbed outside the gas station. I'm like, yo, you did not deserve that shit, bro. That shit was supposed to happen to you, like.
That's one of those lessons you're gonna get taught by
Yeah.
that. That's getting robbed at the end of The Alchemist. Like,
absolutely.
For real,
yeah.
for real.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
no.
Money only intensifies who you are. So if you an addict and you sniffing $100 worth of dope today, if you got money, you're gonna sniff more dope.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stop sniffing dope. You know what I'm saying?
Not for
So it's
nothing.
like-
Thinking about smoking weed, like sometimes I'll get real anxious, real paranoid. And I'll be like, shit, should I stop smoking weed? Is that the reason I'm like anxious and paranoid?
You wanna quit
And then I'm
weed?
like, nah, wait,
Hell
there's
no.
so much other shit in my life that I don't want to deal with. So I think it's easier for me to quit out weed than do that.
Don't
You need
blame
help
it
with
on the
that?
weed.
Yeah, I'm fucking the whole.
All good. We'll figure this out.
Fuck it, I'm gonna just do it like this.
All
Fuck it.
right.
He told me you could grab, pause. He said you could,
I just don't like leaning in and shit. Hurt
You
my
want to
back.
trade microphones?
Nah, I'm good.
You want to hold it?
I'm good.
What we were talking about, winning the lottery and losing all the money. But I feel like a lot of rappers do that, sign deals and lose the money. Where it's like, I feel like this is going to sound really shitty, I feel. But I feel like the reason I'm not getting like a large, the reason I'm not getting, the universe isn't giving me money right now, is because they know I'm fucking, shut the fuck up, everyone in this
You
audience.
just gotta learn a couple lessons before you get
For
the
real,
bread.
I feel like because I do know what I'm gonna do with it once I have it. Like I don't want to like ball out. Like I have dreams like to put that shit in, and it's not my time right now. You're
See,
looking
me-
at me like you're
I'm
looking
not
at me.
gonna
I don't.
Your time is yo. Listen, everybody wants to dance naked and throw hundreds in the air. Like,
Yeah.
See, not
and
me.
let the
I'm
money song play.
I don't even do like me. Ain't nothing gonna change other than like I'm gonna do better versions of the shit that I already doing. I might pick up a few hobbies, but like it's funny. I got a song called "Rolly Plain Jane," and in the song, the first line, I'm like, I carry the city I love on my back, gonna buy the Rolly, but won't wear it. It's gonna cover my tat. Like it's just one of those essential
shows you,
things
yeah.
that you get,
You
right?
gotta just show
So
it.
for me, it's like what I'm saying essentially is like them shits don't make you. They just, niggas be dirty with mad chains on. You know what I'm saying? It's like wash your ass. You feel me? So it's like, for me, it's like I'm the type of nigga. I just need a nice place to live and be able to make my music. You know what I'm saying? Have my lady. You know what I mean? Have me some good food. I'm good. Like I'm not the type of nigga like I don't do it for that. You
You
feel what
gotta
I'm saying?
respect
That
it,
shit
yeah.
is them niggas that do that. Them be the artists that they albums sound the same every time. You know what I mean? They burn out quickly. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just
you gotta respect it.
yeah,
Your
I
ex-
can't.
yeah.
That's like playing the NBA because you want to get a car or something. It's just like, yo, at some point you ain't gonna have no hunger, you know. So it's like, well,
How,
that's just-
yeah,
That's
it's
it.
like how are
That's it.
people's internal shit? Like, are you meditating? Are you working
Yeah.
out? Are you like
Shit.
spending
Yeah.
time with the people you need to? Are you like journaling? Are you writing?
Are you happy? Like that's what's important, right?
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Is your kids good? Like, you know what I mean? Is your mom happy? Like that's what it is. Materials is dope, but you gotta
Yeah.
have.
That's a big part of your shit. Like,
I can't wait to get into your music, man, for real.
but your shit, like being a dad, like, and we talked about this on the last podcast, like when quarantine hit and you were like,
Stuff.
could- yeah, you-
became a teacher. I became everything. Yeah, man. I'm. As far as when it comes to like the flashier things, I got is at the end of the day is like, for me, from my perspective, right? Few things come to play when I think of like mementos and showing. You supposed to, like he said, when you reach achievements, you reward yourself. So I never downplay any man who wants to reward himself for reaching new heights. That's always commendable. I've been around big time dudes all my life. So I was wearing stuff in the hood I probably shouldn't been wearing. at times where being around things I probably shouldn't have been around. So at this point in life, having those things, like I said, when I reach new heights here, we gonna punish them. We gonna make sure they know where we at.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I still have family members and close friends that are tied into politics and things that are going on. So if I was to like step out, they already know we active. They already know who I am. Next to Joe, I move around. So if I was to try to punish people right now while we still got soldiers active in the field, then it's go time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people have to do those kind of things. So I stay away from those kind of politics where I'm from. Then as far as being a dad and everything, that was my responsibility outside of music. Like a lot of people just want to see you in the studio doing your thing, but for the most part, I got a family. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be with my kids. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I don't know how to run away from problems. I've never been a runner. So, I stand tall and I deal with my kids, and I try to be the best dad I can. It's a learning experience. Kids is harder than anything you could put on this planet. Raising a kid is like the hardest. It's the best experience, but it's going to teach you a lot about, it's like The Alchemist. It's going to break you down and build you into a new yourself. And every day you challenge yourself and you raise a kid, man. You raise a human being, a little person that's going to eat somebody's food, that's going to be running around, and you got to make sure they're respectable and that they don't start no shit wherever they go. And that's the job.
I'm going to ask this to you first, but this is in your music, especially your new tape, compared to your first album, Scatterbrain Crack Baby, like, it's a lot more about, like, teaching. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but, like, both of your music, like, it's like you guys you can listen to it and it's a great track, but then, like, if you really listen to what's being said, you're trying to teach or at least show a path that isn't usually shown. And that's what I fuck with in music. And I feel like when did you realize that was what you wanted to do with your music? Was like not just like
from the very start, to be honest. I grew up on rappers that always had something to say. So whether they were street artists or they was backpackers, you gotta have a message. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I listen to shit that don't make no sense, that don't mean nothing. At least it don't seem like it means anything. But
for real, yeah.
for
I'll listen
me,
to fucking Young Dolph after you guys. Like I understand. Yeah.
Young Dolph be talking, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about sometimes like his records.
Yeah, because it means something to you.
Yeah,
if you listening to it, it's providing you a vibe. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but I'm talking about things where you could literally not understand whether or not a gentleman is speaking real words. Like I'm talking about that. Like I expect as long as you rap about something, I you know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like you got to do what speaks to your soul. And I'm not gonna lie, I went through a phase of trying to like make certain type of records to like impress people and impress girls, and like you want people riding around in the car to your music, and you trying and you just striking out, you making mad bullshit. So I've been there. So I say, yo, never again. If I'm making music that only a niche crowd is gonna fuck with for the rest of my life, so be it. As long as it speaks to me, you feel me? As long as I feel good listening to it, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I want to say one more thing. As long as you saying something, you don't gotta be righteous. You ain't gotta be gangster. You don't gotta be nothing. You just gotta be saying something. And for me, I'ma always tune in. You know what I mean? Like I could always respect it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Were you always like?
No, I pretty much went through the same phases. You know, my sound always been my sound, but you know, switching up my flows, trying different cadences. I've definitely done that, and but I grew up, like he said, I grew up on the Beanie Siegels, you know, the Jay-Z's, the Cams, you know. Then when I listened to the West Coast, when I would try to make West Coast music, it would sound like the Snoop music. It would sound like West Coast music. Yeah. Or, you know, the South music at that time was Scarface and T.I. and Jeezy. So that was like the sound you would, if a producer played that, you would try yourself, or you would try to talk about stuff like that. As far as when I was coming up and didn't have no guidance, you know what I'm saying? But when I found myself, like he said, I became comfortable and I decided to make the music that I know had the right message in it because I was reading certain books and getting certain knowledge, and it became easier to write like that. You know, when that message, forcing other stuff was like thinking, but when you would write the honesty stuff or spread the message, it was just flowing. Word.
Where do you think that like voice comes from when you're writing? When you go into that like flow state?
That's a good question.
Ancestors. Your ancestors and your
That's a fact.
Yeah, like I remember Nipsey was saying some shit like that. It literally comes from a place. You ever write something? You write comedy, so I know you ever write something, you feel like, yo, that wasn't me, that was God.
For real.
Yo, that
everything that's good,
like,
everything that's actually like I want to put forth.
Yeah, it just comes,
All
bro.
the time.
Not for me.
Yeah. Nah, it does. You just don't.
The only
you
time
don't
I'm
know.
present is when I'm reading it back.
Yeah.
But while I'm creating it, I'm not
Zoned out,
there. Yeah. So that's why you impress yourself. You be like, oh shit.
Why is it, at least for me, I don't want to speak for you, but for me it's so hard to like get myself to just force myself into that state, even though I know it's such a good state. Like to force myself to just sit down and write.
I mean, if you
it's
could
like
get
I'll
into-
do anything but to get away from that.
If it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tap into the matrix. That's why like those who could do it on demand is like special.
Yeah.
So you always have to find that little energy. But if you're a writer, you know where you most of the time is like they come in spurts. Like them top tier joints, they come in spurts. Like they don't come often where you be like, oh yeah.
Then you
this
get a
is-
moment where there's
Yeah,
nothing
like,
going on.
yeah.
That's me right now.
Then you'll write a bunch of joints that you know they not the top tier, but they flowing too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, these ain't the top tier, but they flowing, so let me get through these so I can at least see if the sixth one might be that you know, that joke or that bar, that rhyme, that song, that hook, whatever it is. It's like keep pushing through and you're gonna get to that pinnacle that makes you saying buck. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why it's like talent is great, but if you can outwork, if you can like outmine other people, then like shit, like outwork both. Like you inspire me to work hard. Like you do your something about him is, you know, he produces all his own shit too, and it's fucking like
money, a lot of money and a lot of checks coming.
Yeah, word.
you deserve that shit. You do. But like the fucking I only want to look at people who are going to try to outwork me. Like I want to like be inspired by that like work ethic.
I don't do that though. I don't try to outwork nobody because
Work your own pace.
yeah,
right?
I can't even think of nobody when I'm doing what I do. So it's like, how can you outwork a ghost? Like Ho said, they got me fighting ghosts. It's like,
Or like Floyd says, we don't train for a fighter, we just train for the fight.
yeah,
Like it don't matter who's in the ring, we go in them 12 rounds.
yeah,
That's just what we do.
exactly.
That's probably why I feel like I've been like before I was just like when this just started, I was just fighting against myself. And now I feel like the little bit of people I have listening or whatever, like I feel like I start comparing myself to like that next level, because once you get past that next level, you're at the bottom of the next barrel.
I think we kind of need that too, because as MCs, I'll be finding people to secretly like, all right, that's where that's going to push me to write the next rhyme. You know,
Yeah.
challenge that person secretly, you know, and it's pushed me to a next level. He might not know he just gave me that.
Yeah, I used to do that. It don't work for me.
Yeah.
I just got to tune everybody out.
Yeah, just focus,
Yeah,
yeah.
just-
So
do
there's
you not
plenty of
listen to
avenues.
shit? Like when you're making your own music, do you not listen to like new artists, or like do you try to just listen to your own shit, or
I listen. I would never be the type of nigga that just listen to my own shit. I don't.
Word.
Them type of niggas is weird. I'm cool. I'm cool. What I do is I listen to a lot of old music. So, like I listen to right now for some reason I'm stuck on Doggy Style and The Chronic, and I've listened to these albums for years, well, The Chronic for years. But I like to listen to older music. New music is cool, but it don't. A lot of it, I don't want to sound like one of them artists, but a lot of new music doesn't inspire me. You feel me? To like while I'm working on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that the artists aren't good. I just got an old soul.
That's well spoken. I mean, for me, it's pretty much I don't know, twin. I don't really listen to while I'm creating. Yeah, like
shout
you
out
said.
great producer Ani Moosh bringing me
Yeah,
alcohol.
shout out.
Thank you. Round of applause for Ani Moosh. Not for the alcohol, for her great job on the podcast.
Yeah, like he said, I listen to old stuff and try to find inspiration through that. And
What have you been listening to now?
a lot of R&B mostly. You know, that's
Like
mostly
who?
what-
Like I've been getting into some R&B too.
Yeah.
Are you an R&B like?
Yeah, I've been on all 90s. John A. fucking. Oh man, I was listening to Immature last night. But yeah, but you was talking to him. I'm going around.
R&B.
Like he said, 90s or even further. You know, James Brown. I've been playing it for my girls. It's a Man's World. Best of James Brown on the YouTube.
Fire.
More R&B. There's like Mary J. There's this new young girl. Her name is Ilham. She's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Queensbridge, and she's amazing. I tuned into her because she had a fight against NYCHA. Her parents live in the public housing in Queensbridge, and she was on the news, and she was showing her living conditions and how they were having rats in their homes, and the pipes were showing, and it's a musician, and I looked her up, and she's amazing. So shout out to her.
What's her name?
Ilham,
I'm gonna have to check
Ilham. She's like Palestinian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yo, real quick, I'm sorry. Let's have a round of applause for him putting on for her like that. Because
Yeah,
artists
for
don't
real.
do that. Artists do not do that, for real, for
Yeah,
real.
nah, she do her thing. But yeah, the R&B and Amy Winehouse is my favorite, so I'm always listening to Amy. So, different vibes, man. It's my man in the car, just be smoking and whatever we feel. New stuff too. I try to listen, man. I listen to it. I'm in tune. Dirk and Lil Baby and all that stuff. I give it a listen, man. Some stuff is dope. I'm not gonna say it's not amazing, but when I create, the stuff I create comes from more of like, soul and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, the artists that we talking about right now, when they create their shit, they listening to Bootsy Collins and
Exactly,
they
yep.
listening to James Brown and they
Exactly.
going to the generations that inspired them. So I feel like you just never let go of what you grew up on when you
Yeah,
create, especially,
exactly,
For that's not to. I know I was talking to you about this outside, but like my dad took me, and I've said this so many times on the podcast, but it's the live podcast, so I'll say it here. My dad took me to see Wu-Tang Clan when I was 12.
Wow.
So when I just did a show stand up with Capadonna and Inspector Deck last week, and it was like, thank you, but it was. You're right. Like, it was like that. It was my inspiration. Like, seeing them on stage, like, I'm never going to try to be a rapper. Like, I'm a comedian. That's my thing.
But
But,
you
like,
felt the
that
energy.
is the inspiration. Like, I'm not listening to comedy when I write comedy. I'm listening to rap. Like, that's, like, so to be able to get that inspiration, like, you probably feel that being in the studio, like, being in the studio with Primo. Like,
Being in the studio, right? So being in the studio with
yeah, we got to
Primo-
go back to that. That's how we started this podcast,
Can
but
you
we're
talk-
going back.
What was that like?
Being in the studio with Primo, the next room is me and Primo in this room, so he's playing me stuff and we doing our thing. The next room is Fat Joe and Remy. They working on Remy stuff and the new single they got coming out. And in the room next door is Papoose with the baby and this new dog that they just got, this big K9 that they just paid $30,000 to train. The dog don't move. It don't do nothing. It's the best trained dog I ever seen in my life.
30,000, yeah.
Papoose said that if you shoot at the dog, he'll still attack, that it's trained to duck sound.
God damn.
So this is crazy. I've
30
never seen
grand.
nothing like that, 30 grand.
That's
So,
balling out. 30K.
Wow.
yeah, so then leaving the studio with Preem, with Fat Joe, and the rest of the mayor and the immediate circle, shooting the Radio City Music Hall and doing the Dave Chappelle.
Were you at the Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle? Fucking, my friend Jordan was gonna go, and we left the show early. I saw them all go to that. I was like, if I stayed, I would have fucking gone to
Yeah,
that.
so we went to Radio City,
That's
Dave
fucking-
Chappelle special, Fat Joe, Diamond D, Talib
So you
Kweli.
saw Chappelle do stand-up last night.
We didn't get to see him do because we was backstage. They didn't let the artists. I was with Joe, so we had to stay collectively. So like, Joe's room's here, Ghostface room's here, Clark Kent's room's here, Diamond D's room's here. So they all like together.
Yeah.
They all coming in Joe's room. So I'm in Joe's room. I'm taking the pictures. I'm just soaking it all up. Dave Chappelle. Everybody goes to get dressed. Dave Chappelle comes in. You know, he's dressed that, but then he's thanking everybody, looking everybody in their face. You know, say he leave, we all like, ah! You know, everybody's like, yo, that's Chappelle, the greatest ever. And then we perform. I watched Ghostface perform.
Did you perform?
That
Yeah, I
right
performed
there,
What'd
with
you
Joe.
perform?
Nah, I performed with Joe. You know, Hype Man and Joe. When I'm not performing for myself.
Hey, Hype Man and
Yo,
Joe's like.
if I ever see Ghost perform, I'm hopping on stage. Security gonna have to like.
Nah, he was
keep me up.
dolo too. That was ill. It was exactly like how I imagined Ghost. He was by himself. You know, big dude, just hanging out, watching the Brooklyn Nets game with Q-Tip, Fat Joe. Who else was there with us, man? Bunch of people just watching the Brooklyn Nets game like this on a big TV, and then one by one they all peeling off to go perform, and then they'll run off the stage. They'll be like, "What school?" So I'm sitting there just like, yeah, the old heads is crazy.
What's your favorite? I asked you outside and you got offended because we already had this conversation. What's your favorite Wu-Tang member? He said Ghostface.
At this point in my life, when I first started hearing Wu-Tang, it was Meth.
Okay.
It was Method Man. But at this point in my life, it's Ghostface.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say Ray. I thought.
At this point in
he
my
look
life,
like a
I love
type of
Ray
dude.
with all my heart. Shout out to Raekwon because he's a beautiful person, man, and his music has carried me. But Ghost is like, I don't know.
That makes sense. It makes sense. Like, he is so methodical with his work.
Yeah, I give it up to Ghost, man. And like I said, it was Method Man, so I don't know, but Meth has not been as consistent as to me, Ghost.
I think Meth is better than Ghost and Ray, but he don't
hasn't
do it
been
for me like they do,
consistently,
man.
yeah,
Like
man.
they language, they
Even to now, I listen to a Ghost album. Like if Ghost dropped the album today, I'm like Static was just playing me some Ghost and Inspector stuff that he got, and that's how I got to meet Ghost because I walked up to him and I was like, "Yo, Ghost, real quick, man, but I heard that INS joint you got on that Static beat," and he was like, that started the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, I ever meet him, I said two things, right? It's a song that this nigga Ye, who's my first favorite rapper, it's called Kanye Is That Your Car? If and when I ever meet him, I'm gonna walk up to the nigga and I'm gonna rap that to him. He's gonna be mind blown because he probably ain't hear that song since like 2002. And if I ever meet Ghost, I'm gonna walk up to the nigga and rap the whole Nutmeg.
that's amazing.
Front to back. I'm gonna just walk away. Like you don't
he's
even need to
amazing,
know who
man.
I am. I know who you are, and that's it.
Yeah, they
Ghostface. I saw Ghostface. I saw Wu-Tang, but I saw him live with Denzel Curry opened up for him, which was
Oh, wow.
a weird.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then, do you know? I don't know. There's a metal band called Horror with nines instead of R's. They're these two
never heard
dudes.
of
They're
them.
like rapper, but just crazy. And they opened up for Denzel, so people were like moshing, like hardcore moshing. And then Ghostface came. It was just the strangest show.
That's a
Yeah.
crowd.
Where was that at?
In Boston, it was a free Zoomies put on a free show, and I had to go to that shit. I used a fake ID. My fake ID's in my bag over there. I used my fake ID to follow my dreams until I was 21.
As you should.
Who do you worked with? Did you make songs? Like, do you have songs that are gonna drop with Primo?
I can't talk about
All right,
it.
we're not.
I'm not allowed to
all
say
right,
nothing.
then who do you want to work with? Like, we're wrapping up. Like, who you've worked with some of the greats now, but like, who do you want to work with that you haven't?
Oh man, anybody that's willing to work with me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't because there's so many opportunities out there that when I think about it, I think about one person. I'll be like, nah, but what about that person? Because if you speak it, it comes to existence. So I just want to work with any legend that's willing to work with me, from Quincy Jones, I don't care, to Rockwaller, to Eric Sermon, to Alchemist, anybody, I'm down. I'm with it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's a good answer. But like, I guess that's true. You're far enough in that like you've worked with the people. Like you were just hyping up Fat Joe. Like we're doing
I
that.
do
shit,
that
like-
all. I've been doing that since 2019. Before COVID, the first show Joe gave the opportunity to rock with him was Rolling Loud at Shea Stadium, City Field. So we did that. That was the experience that he was like, nah, we rocking. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a situation with Joe. I signed a deal with Joe, and we put out a few records. And Joe had a plan to take his label to somewhere else for distribution, and that situation fell through. So as it fell through, Joe and I grew a bond just moving around together. And it allowed him the opportunity for me to have a talk with him. Like, I was approaching him to talk, and before I even got to speak, he was already venting about his situations. And he came up with a solution right there while we was talking, like, yo, Fev, why don't you just come on the road with me, make money, and do your thing? So I was like, yo, that's beautiful, you know what I'm saying?
That's
I'll
a
do it.
blessing, yeah.
Because he didn't
Yeah.
have anyone on the road with him, and, you know, he's getting older, you know what I'm saying? So he likes to, like, relax and chill, you know what I'm saying? So he don't have any youth around him. When I started chilling with him, he was like becoming, like seeing me being so vibrant and happy to be around these experiences, because I was bugging out.
Yeah.
You know, I was fresh from the projects, and he was showing me things I never seen in my life, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, he would see how happy I would be being around Premier, or like Premier knowing my name without Joe being around. He would see these things. He would see people talking about me when he didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? Or he's talking to anybody, they'd be like, yeah, I know Fev. And he'd be like, you know Fev, how you know Fev? And they'll, you know, because I was already working before
Because you've been
I met him.
grinding for a long time.
I just met him in 2016, twin. So when I met him, I was already putting in pain. And then after I met him, I had to put in more pain, because it was still like, like anybody
like
can
now
mess
it's
with me.
on.
Yeah, let me see what you're gonna do, because he had people around him that was taking opportunities and dashing. So when I came, it was like another one, you know what I'm saying? So I had to earn my keep and show up. I was showing up to venues before they got there without, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody was calling me and being like, yo, you got to show up here. Now they do that because I earned that. But before that, it was like I had to put out my own music. I was putting out music, not telling them, you know what I'm saying? Just doing shows, moving around. They would see me and be like, oh, Fev doing this thing.
You're grinding. You're not
So
just
at the
trying
end
to
of-
take their
exactly,
shit.
because
Yeah.
I never wanted nothing from him. I never asked him for none. Everything he gave me, it was because he felt like it was for me. Because I was always a person who was like, man, if my father never, like, I don't ask my dad for nothing, you know what I'm saying? With all respect to my dad. A man is going to let you down. One or two might help you or give you something, but eventually if you keep your hand out, somebody going to piss in that shit. So you got to understand that you're going to get let down, so don't really look for nothing. Try to do it yourself, and if you can't do it yourself, bring somebody with you to help you figure it out. But don't just wait for nobody, because then they start seeing that. You know what I'm saying? The first time they give it to you, they take note of that.
Yeah.
Then the second time, they like, oh, dog, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta
he
go
kind of
get it for
like,
your
he
own
kind of
self.
milking the cow now. 3-4 times is over. You a liability. You're not an asset. So I always try to make myself an asset. So that's what made him like give me that opportunity. So like I said, from Rolling Loud, man, he took me to Dubai. He took me to Bahamas. I've been there everywhere because of him. You know what I'm saying? So when I do my own thing, it's just with experience from being on the road, learning how to travel, learning about business, how it look when a spot is gonna pay you versus doing something for free. You get treated worse. The better artist gets treated better. You know, going to ESPN, they rolling out the carpet for you versus doing joints in Brooklyn where everybody don't know you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get to see that overnight. You know what I'm saying? And you understand that, like, damn, I could get treated like that, independent, nobody in my pocket, putting up my own money. Do you have $250,000 to put up behind a record if you believe in that record? And if you have that $250,000, do you have the hustle to believe in it? Because you might not make it back.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? But you believe in that record. We're not doing that one time, we're doing that 10 times. And there's nobody's hand in our pocket over here. So I'm getting to learn that and be like, oh, all right, like right now we playing this game, but when it's time to play ball, you got to decide what we doing. Because eventually everybody wants to, like, I'm doing this to put my mother out the projects. My mom's right now, today, lives in Castle Hill projects. I ain't balling. Don't matter what I rock or what I got on. My mom's is in the projects. My little brother, my sister, and my nephew. My pops is in the projects on 98th and 1st Avenue. So we still working, you know what I'm saying? And until they straight, and until we straight, then everything keep moving like clockwork.
Non-stop.
That's some real shit. That's why you're going to, like, that's why you are who you are, and you're fucking,
Wherever the
you're
money
never
is
gonna
at.
give up.
I
Yeah.
learned that wherever the money is at, we going. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. A basketball player right now, if he ain't in the NBA and he a real baller, he'll fly to Beirut to play ball. What? 100,000 a year, we out there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No problem.
No problem. I'm out there, I'm hooping.
Well, this started with, like, what artists you want to work with, but it transformed, like, Like, not who do you want, but like, what do you see for your future then?
Ultimately the same thing he was saying. Like, I don't be having that shit in my mind. Like, I just be so, like, you gotta understand, I'm a producer, so I be in my own head. Like, it's like
A great producer
you've been.
at that.
I'm pretty sure, like, you probably seen certain shit about Primo. It's just like, it's kind of odd, right? Like, producers
Static
got
mostly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've been around Primo salt shaped times, but Static is the one who showed me like that real level. Like, yo, bro, producers are odd, bro.
Yeah,
but
like
it's not because they want to be. It's just because they see things in color.
Yeah.
I can never put a record on and hear where it's supposed to be broken at.
Yeah.
That's just not my forte. I could do that with words. I could pick words out the sky, but like I can't take a loop and know where it's supposed to be chopped at or where this synth is supposed to go. That's like some whole up. That's math, twin. That's straight
Yeah,
math.
so-
Looking at waves and hearing the voice pattern and knowing what kind of beat. That's straight math. These guys are mathematicians. That's sound. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I think we all are as producers and rappers, but my point is, imagine doing both. It's like, and like, I don't make all my beats because I'm just got this stubborn thing. I don't have that many good resources on the production side, so, and it's not enough. I got good resources, but just not from. I don't want to discredit any producers that I know, but they don't have beats that I want, right? So having to make your own beats and your own rhymes, you ain't got time to like think about who you want to work with, and but maybe that's an excuse, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I gotta figure that out so I can, as you said, make those things come into fruition for myself. But I just don't think of like that. Like, I might hear a song and be like, oh, I'll save this for the day I ever meet this artist, but I just make music.
That's real. You guys both put out projects on the same day.
Oh,
You had the Green Tape.
That's fine.
You had Magnum Opus.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Both the two top listened albums I've listened to since they
I
dropped.
appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
for
thank you.
real.
Do you like Magnum Opus is like do you have are you working on things next? Like, is there
An album.
Yeah.
In fact, I took a break from working on that to do the Green Tape. So
Yeah, July 16th, Enigma Dolly. I got another one dropping. So.
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah, that's
fire.
Van Slice.
Who's on that one?
Oh, that's we got Flea Lord.
Shout out Flea Lord. Shout out Lord Mob.
Yeah, we got Smooth, Red Inf, and my man Short Shot from Long Island.
Shout out Red Imp. I've been fuck with the High
Man, it's
Enterprise.
nice.
He's very
Yeah,
nice.
Red is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's Van Slice, and that's July 16th, bro, and that's coming out through Fat Beats and Coal Mine Records. So look forward to that.
Awesome.
Super fire.
And you're working on when's the album gonna drop?
I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna be like a minute, bro. A minute. I'm gonna drop more music, but the album I'm working on is, it's like
Your album, your tape, the Green
my holy
Tape.
grail right there. I'm betting it all on this.
Yeah.
You know, all for now. So it's like, it's gonna take a while.
That's right.
The Green Tape though is like, that's fucking amazing.
Thank you.
And Magnum Opus is, but also the Thrill. Like you've released 2 projects since I've talked to you last, and the Thrill is one of my most listened to shit.
Thank you,
like,
bro.
The Green Tape and the Thrill is
That's
like,
that mass shit. You biased with
I
Frank.
love
man.
that
You
cra-
love
yeah.
Frank. Yeah, shout out to Frank the Butcher and the whole mass, man. They show me love out there, so I rock with them. For real.
Fire.
Man, thank you guys so much for doing this. I really thank
you
you
for
everyone
having
for
me.
coming
Thank
out.
you.
This is I can't believe it's a 1-year anniversary because shit, I was just you guys probably felt this when you started, like when you first started. Like, I'm just a stand-up from Massachusetts. I live in the middle of nowhere. Like, I had no backing behind me. And fuck, like, it's cool. It's cool that if you follow your dreams, shit happens. If you really believe in yourself and you follow your shit, then the world, God, the universe is going to help you out.
Yeah, but
True
more than
that.
that, you gotta fight because you gonna get knocked
True
down.
that.
You could follow your dreams, but if you get knocked down and
Keep going.
start running, going the other way, is like ain't nothing gonna happen for you.
True that.
Man, thank you guys so much for doing it. Like, for real, this is a historic moment for me in my life.
I
But
know that's
you
right.
guys, You guys fucking doing this for me really means a lot. Everyone here, it means a lot. Thank you.
Yo, you gotta give us a joke, man. Before I drove all this way to get a joke, man. What's
am
up,
I,
man? Give us
am I
something,
supposed
man.
to do stand up
real
right now?
quick. We should get like
Before we go,
a
let me
nice
get
little
something,
10-minute
man.
segment
Yeah.
real quick.
Oh, I
Give
feel
us
like you
something
guys are
real
gonna have
quick,
to
man.
spit a bar after it.
Nah. We here for you, man. You gotta give us a little.
Am I supposed to do stand up?
Nah, not a whole set. Just give us
Just
a little.
a little
You don't got
joke.
something. You got something that you.
All right, I'll tell you a joke. All right, what was your first job ever? Other than, I asked that at a show once, and I was like, I was a crack dealer for 17 years. I was like, thanks for making this a great comedy show. You brought the fucking mood down. Like, what was your first job?
Sneaker store.
Sneaker store. What was your first job?
To make it simple, I'm gonna say IHOP.
Yeah.
Shitty jobs?
Yeah.
First
I
jobs
appreciated it. I don't shit on jobs. I try not to.
My grandma used to pay me to like shoot chipmunks and squirrels with a BB gun.
That's your first job?
I was a paid mercenary
You was a
for
paid
my first
assassin?
job. Yeah, I was a paid. But there was a BB gun.
Were you any good though?
Well, the thing is, I was good. I would hit him every time, but the
You was
BB gun,
dropping shit?
it wouldn't kill him. It would just wound him.
Oh.
So then I would have to like run out there with a shovel and shit and like bash their head in, being like, "How much candy do I get with this, Grandma? Like, can I afford a bike?" Just blood squirting in my
you was
face.
wild.
Like,
You was
yeah, that was my first job. And that's what a bomb is like, everyone. That's how you bomb on stage. And thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you,
coming.
guys.
Everyone, listen to Magnum Opus, listen to The Thrill, listen to The
Please.
Ghost of Abizu, Deluxe Edition, listen to The Green Tape, listen to Scattering, Crack Baby, listen to the Mellow EP.
Yes.
Fucking, you guys are two of my favorites, and this
Thank
was
you,
this
bro.
was a dream come true. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
bro.
you guys.